For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Glad to have you along as December starts, a busy month. We've got some very interesting guests today, as we always try and do. And the first guest up is Corporal, or Detective Corporal. I got to have the proper title here for you, young man. Detective Corporal Don Ennis. Welcome back to the Focus set, sir. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
As you, sir.
You mentioned to me as we met in the hallway here in the building a couple days ago that there's been an awful lot of scams and fraud going on in our little community and all over St. Clair County. What's happening? Bring us up to
I think
date.
it's across the world, across the U.S. It's not just St. Clair.
It's just not here.
It's everywhere. But I'll tell you what, our small town is getting hit hard with fraud cases.
Really?
We're taking 2-3 fraud cases a day.
2-3?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they're usually financially involved, like where the victim has lost some type of financial, whether it's a gift card or bank account information or personal information. Our citizens are, unfortunately, they're good people, and
right.
they want to be honest and they want to be helpful. And a lot of these bad guys are taking advantage of these situations. And there's many different ways that they're doing it.
Well, are they coming up knocking on the door, or what are they doing?
Nope, these are all just different types of scare tactics. Phishing emails, which if you know what that is, it's an email that you randomly get, and it could be in eBay. An email that looks like it's from eBay or Amazon. So you get this email in your Gmail, whatever account, and you're like, well, that's weird. I never ordered a TV. So there's a phone number on that email. So what do? You just, on your phone, you just click on that number and bam, you go right to bad guy. So they send, hundreds of thousands of these emails out. And if 10 people answer, they win. They can take advantage of you. So it's just whatever they throw out there. If they get some responses back, then they take advantage of those people.
I had one the other day that you mentioned it. It was an email from reportedly from Amazon.
Yep.
And it was for an electric toenail clipper.
Yeah.
And I went, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Except it was $249. And I had not ordered any kind of such an animal. And so I did take your advice, and I went down and I called the number. Well, the number had been disconnected, fortunately.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing you get, right?
It's a scare tactic. It's just a way for you to intrigue you, to say, well, I never did that. I don't want to be billed. So what do? They make it easy. They put that phone number right on there. And let me tell you, Amazon does not want you to call them.
Right.
They're a very efficient company. They're a $1 billion company for a reason, because they're efficient. They don't make mistakes. Mm-hmm. And Amazon doesn't want you to call them. They want you to go through their email service or their app. They want to go through the app. And that's another issue that we're having, is people Googling phone numbers. So when you got your Google screen up,
right,
and you say, well, what's Amazon's phone number? You ask Google that, and Google's going to spit you out 1 million results. And I tell you what, the first response on there is typically not the response from the actual company. It could be a scam person. So what do? You call that number. And that person on the other end says, yeah, this is Amazon. And you proceed to give them your account information, your credit card information. And you always want to go through the app to make contact with these companies. You never want to Google a phone number.
I've also noticed that if you look up in the address bar at the top of an email, you can see where that email came from. And many times you can see the scam name there. They type a name in. Is that helpful?
That's a great point, because most people don't look at the headers of an email. A header of an email is, who's that email from? Is it Amazon.com, or is it Amazon misspelled with a bunch of letters and numbers after it? More than likely, it's not the real Amazon. That's a very good point. Look at that header of that email and make sure it's actually from an Amazon.
Do I get a star on my forehead for...
You do, yeah. You weren't a victim that day, but they're going to keep coming after you.
Right.
So it's not a thing where you can just be like, I'm good, because they're going to come a different way. And I could share a story. I took a fraud yesterday. And this was a gentleman who got a phone call from a Houston area number. He answers, and he's like, the other man on the phone is an Indian accent, and he's just like, this is U.S. Customs Agent Bob Smith. And they're like, you're under investigation for some type of illegal criminal activity. And he's just like, I didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, you can take care of it, but unfortunately, the only way to take care of it is to buy gift cards. So what does he do? He proceeds to buy $3,000
Oh my God.
of Target gift cards. At that point, he said, I think I'm being scammed here. So he calls me. So I go over there and I talk to him like, hey, this is a scam. Obviously a scam. Well, I'm standing there with him talking to him. They call back. So I answer like I'm the victim, and I'm just like, what's going on? And they're saying, your case is good now because of the money.
He sent him the cards?
Yeah. He sent them the gift card numbers. So over the phone, so he buys the gift cards and gives them the gift card numbers and pins. The bad guys, that $3,000 worth of Target gift cards. So when I'm there talking to the alleged U.S. Customs agent, he says, okay, your case is good for now. Now we just need to open up your retirement accounts. So what is your retirement company account numbers so we can make sure that they're open so you can continue collecting money on the stock market.
Wow.
So they're pursuing him even more through a different angle.
Yeah, they got a source, so they're going to follow it.
Yep. So I start messing with them at this point. And
not you.
Yeah, no. So I just start telling them, I'm just calling them out on their stuff, and they're just reassuring me, no. And at the end of the conversation, they say, okay, we're going to come and arrest you. I'm like, perfect. Can't wait. Come on down. I'm waiting for you. So we hang up the phone. A minute later, we get a phone call from another person from an 810 number saying, this is Officer Tim Raker, which if you don't know is my chief.
Right.
We're coming to get you right now. And I'm just like, wow. So they're very smart with their tactics. We literally hung up the phone, and a minute later they're calling, saying that they're one of our officers. And they just Google St. Clair Police Department. They Google the address, find out who the police chief is and whatnot is. I mean, so they use these scare tactics right on top of it, and they're good at what they do.
Amazing.
So it's a sad story, but he's not getting his money back.
You've got a couple experiences in the last few weeks,
days.
Right here,
days
right here in town, and the surrounding townships are having the same thing.
Absolutely.
So how do you prevent it?
It's just don't trust. When you're on your phone, you're getting text messages, emails, you're getting phone calls. I have a slide here that indicates a few topics that I want to get across today.
If the control room will throw up that second slide, the blue one there, we'll talk about these.
So if
there it is.
Yeah, if you ever get a phone call, an email, a text with this first topic right here, if you have to make a payment by a gift card or a wire transfer or any cryptocurrency, if you know what that is, it's basically just digital money, Bitcoin and stuff like that. If you're making any type of transaction in gift cards, like DTE does not want a gift card, Semco does not want a gift card, Amazon does not, they want cash.
Right.
And they're going to ask you for cash, and they're probably going to go through a billing company if you don't pay them, a credit company. They're not going to go ask you for a Target gift card.
Right.
So the first thing is just if anyone asks you for a gift card, and there is another slide here too with a stop sign that we have brought into a lot of the local stores, CVS, Dollar General, Neiman's Market, and this kind of helps the employee start a conversation with the customer. So if they see a customer buying $3,000 of Target gift cards,
they can become concerned.
And for an employee, this opens up a conversation for them. Like, hey, you might want to. Who is this money going to? Because all these employees don't want to stop a customer. It's not their business. But we've had a lot of success with this sign that employees are saying, hey, by the way, and it actually stopped a few of these victims from purchasing gift cards.
Okay, so let's go back to the blue slide there for a second, guys. All right, so you never put a phone number in Google.
Yeah, never Google a phone number. Don't say, what's Amazon's phone number?
Why would I Google a phone number? To find a number?
Google's going to give you a billion answers.
Okay.
And within those billion answers, 99% of them are going to be fake phone numbers to scam companies. So if you have to know a phone number for any of these companies, DTE, Semco, Netflix, eBay, go to that website and find it within that app, within that website. And more than likely, it's going to be difficult to find a phone number because they don't want to talk to you on the phone. They want to go through email or their messaging service. But if you do find a phone number, make sure it is through the actual app or the website of the company. So you get an Amazon app on your phone, go to that Amazon app and open a complaint on there.
And you are willing to listen to people and take phone calls, and how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can obviously call our local police department. And the third topic there was never given any scare tactics.
Okay.
If a law enforcement department calls you and said, this is the police, we're going to come and arrest you, you got a warrant out, say, hey, I want to meet you at the local police department. Hang up the phone and say, I want to meet you at the local police department. Because when I call a suspect up or a victim on the phone, I say, this is who I am. Come down to my office to talk to me. I never interview people over the phone. because it's informal, and they don't know who I am, and they should ask questions who I am. They shouldn't trust me. Come on down to my office, we'll talk. Same thing, if a person gets a phone call by a law enforcement agent, say I want to meet you at Marysville, Marine City, St. Clair, Sheriff's Office, whoever. Go to local PD and meet with that officer in person.
Okay. Wow. Pretty scary stuff, but a very important stuff to talk about during the holidays when we're busy and we got other things on our mind. Absolutely. And somebody can call and try and grab $1 or $5 or $1,000.
And it happens to every age group. There's people listening to our conversation right now. It's going to say that's never going to happen.
That's going to be old people.
Well, yeah, even young people. That's never going to happen to me until it does. Yeah. And they're like, "Wow, they got me." Yeah. And so the best advice I can give, is this: if you've got to buy a gift card, if you're being threatened with a warrant, call us. Hang up the phone, call us, and we'll help you out. Okay. If you got a warrant, you'll go to jail because that might be real, but more or less it's a scare tactic. Okay. To get you.
Well, Don, you do good work.
Thank you.
And I know you've helped a lot of people in the community, and I salute you for that. And but it's a scary kind of thing, and it's important to get the information out to people that don't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
As seek advice.
That's the biggest thing too. A lot of people are embarrassed to contact us. They're embarrassed. They lost money. They don't know what to do. And I can get you to at least help you get either your credit back in line or help you recoup some money, or at least document the incident. So I can help in some small ways and sometimes big ways. You never know unless you call us.
Okay. His name is Detective Corporal Don Ennis, and he's here at the St. Clair Police Department. Give him a call. You got any questions at all? How to bake a pie, clean windows, you do all that stuff.
Oil changes, whatever you need.
Oil changes, whatever you need. Corporal Don Ennis. We got another guest coming up, and this time it's from SC4, and they're going to talk about a wonderful program that's going on. The Challenger exhibit is going on, and we're going to be back with Kristen in just a second. See you then. And welcome back. We were talking about a new program that's happening up at SC4 in Port Huron. And to give me all the details and get me straight, because I get it messed up, I want to learn about the Challenger Learning Center at the SC4 Experience Center.
Yes.
Did I get that all right?
You got that correct, yes.
Thank golly, I wrote it down. Joining us now, Kristen Copenhaver.
Correct.
Nice to see you. Welcome to the Focus Set.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are you gave me the story before, you are a Marysville girl that works in at the SC4 in public relations and communications and all sorts of, your title was longer than the door. But there's something new at SC4 that's going to be open to the public in the spring of 2022. What the heck is it?
Yes, we're so excited to bring the Challenger Learning Center to SC4. And before I talk a little bit about that, I want to backtrack slightly to talk about the Experience Center, and the partnership that helped make that happen is also the partnership that is helping make the Challenger Center happen. Okay. So backtracking a couple of years ago, Dr. Deborah Snyder, who's the president of SC4, connected with the president and CEO, Mel Drum, of the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum.
Right, wonderful place.
Wonderful place. I know we've been there often with our children. Yeah. But so Mel also kind of oversees an organization called Unity and Learning, which is comprised of the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum as well as the Leslie Science and Nature Center and Yankee Air Museum. And so SC4 kind of joined that partnership and as part of Unity and Learning now. And through that connection, we've been really able to bring a lot of learners of all ages into the Experience Center at SC4, which is on the Port Huron campus. It's in the Clara E. McKenzie building. And we've done a ton of visits, field trips with all kinds of learners, definitely a lot of K-12 groups with teachers and students to bring in. We've brought in, through our Unity and Learning partnership, STEM education, innovation, exploration activities, exhibits, the Leslie Nature Center brings in animals to view. We have the NASA Museum right in there. So there's a lot going on already. So through that partnership, it's been very successful already thus far. But then Dr. Snyder and Mel also knew of and were very interested in the Challenger Center, which is a national organization out of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And that organization was created in the aftermath of the Challenger disaster in the 80s by the family of those who perished because they wanted to keep their STEM education legacy alive and really educate the next generation of leaders and innovators. So kind of talking all about that, they connected to the national organization. Again, they work with NASA directly, they work with the NSF, they work with all kinds of partners and organizations. So bringing the Unity and Learning team plus the Challenger Center in DC together with SE4 has allowed us to really envision this center, the only one in Michigan, it will be the only one in Michigan, that's really bringing together the best minds and the best experts, museum experts, research experts, our professors, the expertise of all these entities together to create the best kind of STEM learning experience possible.
Wonderful.
So we're really excited about that. So sorry to be long-winded about the creation about that. But yeah, so we're super excited.
The Clara E. McKenzie building used to be a library.
It did.
Right? Is it still a library?
Nope, not at this time. It's been an experience center. Nobody uses
the word library anymore.
Nope, the library has moved on campus.
Center.
Yeah, we do have those resources still, and everything is going on. But now, so the Challenger Learning Center, tell you a little bit about what it is. It's a fully immersive, STEM-based space theme experience. So really, it'll be on the lower level of the Clara E. McKenzie building. The Experience Center is the main level and the lower level, but it's in the lower level. So going through construction right now, we're envisioning and creating a space that's going to be incredibly immersive, so simulation experience. So when students and learners come into the space, learners of all ages, I need to continue to say, they'll come in the space and they will go into like a debriefing space where they will learn from a NASA astronaut their mission, and they will be assigned a STEM-based role. It could be anything from being on a medical team, the geology team, robotics, life support, I think I said medical already, but so they can be all kinds of different STEM-based roles. And then the group separates into two parts, and one part of the group goes into the mission control area where they then work to command and assist those who are going through our decontamination room to the transport and into space via a shuttle. So we're really looking at constructing this really innovative space and center with a ton of technology, a ton of fabrication and things that we're aiming to really engage the senses. So even the decontamination space, which is one of the only, I don't know if I said there are only about 40 centers like this in the world. And so I think ours might be the only one with this decontamination space. So it's like an opportunity for students and learners to go through this space with black light and fog to really get a sense that they're kind of going through an area into the transport so that they're leaving Earth and going to space. So
that was group one. What's happening in the meantime?
Well, so one is in mission control, and then the other group goes up into space.
They go into space?
They do, and then halfway through the mission, they're challenged with what to do on this mission. Halfway through the mission, everyone gathers back in the debriefing space, and then they switch roles so that everyone has a chance to do mission control and go up into space.
How many people at a time can go through this experience?
It's a great question. So it depends on the mission, and we're going to bring various missions in. There can be groups from, I believe it's 18 to larger numbers, 50 to 60, I believe, but there's more information on exact numbers on our website. Yes, so lots of people can come in as a group and go through and do a mission.
Who should? I know.
It's a great question.
That there's going to be students.
Yes.
And college students and high school students and STEM students. But what about adult groups? What about corporations?
Yes, that's a wonderful point. We are definitely excited first, the programming for K through 12, we have programming for 5th and 8th grade, 5th through 8th grade, I should say, that aligns with national science standards. So it's really wonderful to fit right in the curriculum for those age ranges. But then otherwise, it's scalable. The programming is scalable from 8th grade on. And to your point, we're definitely looking to open it up to community residents, families, businesses, corporations who want to do team building.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Team building for a corporation. Yes. You got your employees and you want to try something different. This certainly is an exciting opportunity.
It really is. We're so excited.
Okay, so construction is going on now.
Yes.
You think it'll be open sometime in the spring of 2022.
Yes.
Admission prices, reservations, talk to me about all that.
So yeah, we're looking to launch the center officially in spring of 2022. More on that should come very, very shortly. We're excited to be announcing a date pretty soon. But in the meantime, we are scheduling reservations for the missions already. We already have some interest, and we are already booking a number of K-12 institutions and other groups. You can go to challenger.sc4.edu to sign up for reservations.
Challenger.sc4.edu. That's
Correct.
a great one. That's simple.
Yeah, it is. Yes. So you can sign up. You can also sign up for updates. So any kind of updates we have about the center and the timing and the launch and the grand opening celebration event, you can sign up to learn firsthand about that then. Pricing starts at about $750 per group, but $750 per group. But again, that's a large group of 18 to however many people. More information on that is on the site. We are looking right now. We have a campaign going on called SC4 Future Frontiers, and it's a giving campaign. So we are trying to raise funds for to provide additional access to K-12 groups, community members, community groups, and so on. So we're trying to raise some funds there to help provide access and transportation and whatnot for that.
Yeah, people don't realize that when schools go on trips to the DSO or to anywhere else, the zoo or whatever, somebody's got to pay for the bus.
Yes.
Yes. Simple things like that.
Yes.
I mean, they cost money.
It sure does. And really, we're open, since we'll be the only one in Michigan, we're really opening this up to definitely the larger southeastern Michigan community. So we're really excited to bring in groups. Obviously we want our own St. Clair County residents to be there and have that experience, but we're opening it up and expect, we see Ann Arbor, they're so great at pulling in a ton of visitors from a wide area, geographic area.
Been there a couple times with my grandson.
So we're hoping to do the same.
The experience from the time you get off the bus or right out of your car till you come back, is it 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours?
Yep.
Or is it an individual choice?
So you can schedule a half-day experience or a full-day experience.
Full-day experience?
Well, the full-day experience we're doing, again, with our Unity and Learning partners who are heavily involved in everything we're doing with regard to the Challenger Learning Center, but they're also still involved in helping with programming for our Experience Center. So we're looking to do a full-day experience with a group. Might look like half the day in the Challenger Learning Center or a few hours there and then a few hours in the Experience Center. So you get a really robust array of STEM programming.
Pretty cool stuff. The Experience Center itself, wasn't there a dinosaur in there too or something, or was that a previous program?
Yes, there was, and we have a great video about the kind of what's been in it and what's typically in it when our Unity and Learning partners come up and help us out too. It's on our site.
Okay. Okay. But the bottom line here today is go to challenger.sc4.edu. You'll get more information and get excited because you are.
I am. I'm very excited. So we hope you all join us.
Spring of 2022. The funding for the project came from the Ann Arbor Learning Center? Or the
funding for the project came from $2.3 million funds for special projects. Our Board of Trustees approved that at St. Clair County Community College, but we are very hopeful and look forward to the center being self-sustaining through revenue that's generated through the visits to the
Well, I
center
think
as it
since
goes
it's
on.
the only one in the state of Michigan.
Yes.
And when you, the Hands-On Museum in, it's called the Hands-On Museum in Ann Arbor?
Yes, yep.
Certainly generates a lot of traffic for that community, and
They
this
do.
could do the same for the Port Huron or St. Clair County area.
Very much so, not just for the college. Obviously, it's wonderful to provide. One thing we're really excited about is just getting more people onto a college campus
Right.
and seeing what it's like to experience and have that access to a community college campus. But certainly, we're excited for what this might mean for the community and bringing more revenue in economically for our community and really.
It's sort of been a secret, hasn't it? I mean, you're getting ready to explode and tell people all about it, but the getting it to this point has been not really, it's been publicized, but not
Yeah, we want to
overnight.
make sure that we have things,
Yeah.
ready and, prepared as we need to make sure it's a great launch. So
Okay, well, we'll have you back after it gets open and see how it's coming.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in. Kristen Copenhagen from Marysville, but that's all right. We'll let her come out. And she's here to tell us all about challenger.sc4.edu. Go on that site and you'll be able to get all the information you need about the Challenger Learning Center at the Experience Center at SC4. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Got lots of information for you all during the month of December. See you back next time.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.